and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. We've covered a lot of tie-in comics around here, from adaptations of movies to books supposedly working in the same fictional universe. Some worse than others. However, I don't think we've covered the topic of comic tie-ins to games that truly are meant to tie into the story. The closest I can think of would be Atari Force from the first live show, but I have no idea if what happens in those comics actually does affect certain Atari games. However, today's comic is tied into a specific game of the same name, Dr. Doom's Revenge. Although technically the full title is The Amazing Spider-Man and Captain America in Dr. Doom's Revenge, but I like the better acronym for Dr. Doom's Revenge being DDR. And that's pretty much why. Dr. Doom's Revenge is a side-scrolling DOS game made in 1989. I was going to play the game and do some comparing to the game's plot or stuff like that, but... yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. Supposedly, the comic is the prequel to the game, so we shouldn't need any background information on this one. So let's dig into Dr. Doom's Revenge and see what he's getting his revenge for exactly.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkar's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. Brodsky, you're not the smartest. Life out, you're not an artist. Anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he's a man punch, wears a pretty hat. Linkara, he has a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? Linkara, coins, robots, Amazons and trucks. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara.
Yeah, the title actually kind of confuses me. Doesn't the name Dr. Doom's Revenge imply this is a sequel to some event? Something he wants revenge for? Ah, whatever. The cover is decent, if a little sparse in details on top. We needed to make room for the wall of text. Our weather today is partly cloudy with lemonade in the afternoon and a high chance of logos. Dr. Doom is menacingly drawn over the heroes, classic symbolism, though I love Captain America's gestures here. I'm sure he's supposed to be giving thumbs up to Spider-Man, but I can't help but think he's actually going, "Hey, get a load of this guy, eh?" We open in Latveria, where Dr. Doom is just crossing his arms and standing on his little patio, as if to say, "Yeah, I'm awesome. Dr. Doom, baby." Latveria, this Eastern European nation, is ruled by the iron fist of this man, Dr. Doom. Not ruled by Dr. Doom himself, mind you, just his fist. He was kinda drunk when he wrote the Constitution. Now, Doom has stolen the ultimate weapon. Let the world beware! A deadly bee weapon. What is this ultimate weapon? Well, from the looks of it, it's a giant missile.
Sure, it's phallic. Why wouldn't it be?
We cut to New York City, where Captain America is stopping a truck hijacking. It's 10 against 1! He doesn't stand a chance! Captain America fought Nazis. You could have 100-to-1 advantage, and I'd still put my money on him. Anyway, the numbers game starts decreasing rapidly as Cap knocks out some goons. One guy behind him tries to shoot him, but is stopped by Spider-Man's webs. Spidey chases after some goons who have inexplicably fled to a rooftop, while Cap goes after some guys on the street. Come on, push! We can hit Cap with this thing! Urgh, it's really hard to push! Almost as if it's a bunch of bricks cemented together and attached to a rooftop. Thus, trying to push it over is really kind of a dumb plan, especially since there's no guarantee that Captain America will be standing directly underneath it. Urgh. Apparently, the chimney is actually made of rubber since it bends before Spidey just smashes it in half without any difficulty. Yeah, that makes sense. Spidey has other problems, though, because one of the criminals busts open a crate which contains a sonic blaster. He avoids the blast and Cap tosses his shield, knocking out not only the guy with the blaster, but another nearby goon in the process! America! Fuck yeah! The two shake hands and Cap offers Spidey a lift since it's going to start raining. And, as we saw when Captain America was fighting the asthma monster, he's still driving around in his A-Team van.
Pretty metal set of wheels.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man, it's funny. Most people are frightened when I invite them to get into my van. While in the van of America, Cap decides to look up and see if the hijackers were part of any known terrorist or criminal gang. Ah, just the thing for today's on-the-go hero. A portable computer. Computer, you say? What sorcery is this? I know they probably needed to spell that out since this was 1989, but that's just such an awkward thing to say that you'd think the Tandy computer whiz kids would jump out and start talking about that laptop. Anyway, they don't seem to be linked to anybody, but then something else comes up. There's an urgent message on my electronic bulletin board. An urgent message on your electronic bulletin board? What does it say? It seems that the second season of Star Trek The Next Generation is going to end on a clip show! No, it's that Dr. Doom has stolen a missile. They specify what kind, but I don't recognize it, so I'm going to guess it's bad since they say the prefix thermo, and he's planning to use it to blackmail the US government. Cap is quickly on the phone to call for help, but I can't get hold of the Avengers or the Fantastic Four. It's like being on hold with Sprint customer service. I'm in a hurry here! Spidey volunteers to help. Captain America's only response is to turn on the engine and floor the accelerator, which lasts all of 5 seconds before he has to brake again because of New York traffic. They head into the secret regional headquarters for the National Security Council, who are happy to see Cap, but not so much Spidey. Don't some people consider him an outlaw? I don't. I trust him with my life. Besides, I'm the only one available. And I'm sure the Avengers are doing something really important right now. Verily, this show about ponies is quite entertaining. Undersecretary of Defense Ralston still says that Spidey should leave. However, he's interrupted by a call from his boss, President Bush. If Captain America vouches for him, that's good enough for me. They brief the two heroes on where Doom is keeping the missile. You know, if he only has the one missile, you could probably just use special forces to take him out. Do you really need two superheroes for this?
None of us want war in that whole area out over there. But as Commander-in-Chief, I am ever cognizant of my authority to launch a full-scale orgy of death there on the desert sand.
An hour later, the two are put into a supersonic aircraft that looks remarkably not aerodynamic enough for supersonic flight, and head towards Latveria. However, Dr. Doom has already detected them. Spider-Man and Captain America are greater fools than I had imagined. I am Doom. I automatically know who's coming to thwart my plans. He launches missiles at the craft and destroys it. Huh. Okay, if the twist of the game is that they're actually ghosts haunting Dr. Doom, I may want to change my mind about not playing it. Meanwhile, 20 miles away at a roadblock, a man is stopped by the Latverian military. He claims he's only trying to sell carpets so he can feed his family, but they discover that he's secretly smuggling in rock and roll compact discs. Such decadent trash is not allowed in Latveria. Wait, Dr. Doom hates rock and roll? Who would have figured that that would be the trait that he shared with Batman? How shameful, but we will be forgiving. We will keep the forbidden fruit for our trouble. Oh, wait. These are Nightcat CDs. You can keep them. However, farther inside the border, it turns out Spidey and Cap were underneath the man's truck the whole time. Ow. That must have hurt like hell. It turns out that the supersonic aircraft was a decoy and only had robots inside of it. The two quickly head for Doom's castle, but the good doctor has already spotted them on his security cameras. He's unconcerned, though. Even if the fools get through the death traps in my woods, my Doom's Brigade will take care of them once they reach the castle. Ugh, I spent $20 million on a marketing team for my elite group, and the best they could come up with was Doom's Brigade. Doom's Brigade, as it turns out, is a collection of Spider-Man and Captain America villains. Oh, come on now, that's just incredibly convenient. What the hell would he have done if it had turned out to be Iron Man and the Hulk coming to take him down? Anyway, the villains have grown restless and are now fighting amongst themselves. Really, it's just a chance for each villain to introduce themselves, and of course the dialogue is clumsily executed when they're not saying who they are. Ha! Now that I've stunned you with the chair I turned to stone, Rhino, I'll next turn you to stone with but a touch!
Let's tell each other what we're gonna do before we do it, and then do it.
Dr. Doom is not amused by this tomfoolery and gets them to stop by sending out pink energy from his hands that lifts them all into the air.
Too much pink energy is dangerous.
Wait a damn minute, if he can do that, why the hell does he need any of these guys? You can just walk up to Cap and Spidey, incapacitate them with the power of pink, and bam, end of threat. Outside, night has fallen and the two heroes continue their approach on the tower. However, automated guns pop up and start shooting at them. However, after disposing of the guns, coils sprung out of ground, crushing me. Two muscle-bound superheroes in tight clothes and tentacles. I don't even have to make a joke at this point. You're all doing it right now on your own. Spidey manages to rip the tentacles out of the ground and destroy them. Thanks, friend. I thought I'd had it. Friend? He does like me! Oh my god, Captain America is gonna ask me to the homecoming dance! That celebration doesn't last long, however, as Doom unleashes robot troops on them.
Robots. I hate robots.
Doom contacts President Bush again and states that even if the two get past his defenses, he can still launch the missile, so he'd better surrender the United States to him. If I surrender the country to him, I can retire early. And get Friday off. Back with the heroes, they manage to take out a bunch of the robots, but decide on a new strategy. I'll go high!
And I'll go low.
And because I don't know where Latveria sits in Europe, I'm not sure which of you two gets to Scotland before the other. With the robots vanquished, they decide to split up and head into the castle from different ways, hoping that they'll have a better chance of stopping the missile. And so our comic ends with Dr. Doom unleashing his vaunted brigade upon them, promising that even if they don't stop the heroes, he will still triumph. And now it's your turn, game player. The fates of Spidey, Cap, and America are in your hands. Alrighty, you heard the narrator. Let's play this! Yeah, I think America is doomed. Sorry. Anyway, I feel I owe you guys an apology. This comic does not really suck at all, and I promised you last week that we'd be looking at something dumb. I should have taken a closer look at this thing before I scheduled it. I just assumed that because it was a tie-in with Paragon Software, that it would be some promotional crap like the Tandy Computer Whiz Kids. Sure, this comic has some head-scratching moments here and there, but it's not offensive or stupid or anything. It's actually pretty decent for what it is, with some pretty good action. I especially feel bad since this is supposed to be a show about bad comics, and yet this year we've had either okay comics or so bad it's good material. I mean, when was the last truly awful comic I reviewed? Besides that, on the same day I reviewed another okay comic. Okay, that's a good answer. Still, we need to get this show back on track. Next week, I promise something abso-friggin-lutely horrible.